Well, good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome Council to the Tuesday, January 10th regular meeting. A couple of things before we get called to order. We do have a couple of members joining us remotely for various reasons. We'll just do a quick sound check and visual just so that we know that you know that we can hear you and vice versa. So, Councillor Mulyk.
Yep.
Thank you. Councillor Blanchette.
Good.
Councillor Blanchette.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, thank you very much.
Perfect.
And one more housekeeping item. I would really like to thank for their service to this organization and to the residents and businesses of the Village of Valemount. Suzanne Bludoff, Deputy Director of Finance, and Silvio Gislam-Birdie, Economic Development Officer, for their 20 years of service. And with that, I will call this meeting to order, 7:01. First up on the agenda, adoption of the agenda of the January 10th regular meeting of Council. Moved by Councillor Blanchette, seconded by Councillor Pearson. Are there any additions or deletions? Hearing none, all in favor? It's carried. 3.1, we need to adopt the minutes of the previous regular meeting of Council being December 13th, 2022, so 4 weeks ago. Yeah. Moved by Councillor Pearson, seconded by Councillor Mulyk. Are there any errors or omissions arising? All in favor? It's carried. A couple pieces for correspondence for action. We do have a request for a council appointment to Tourism Valemount. The request is before you. What is council's wish? Councillor Pearson.
I would move Councillor Mulyk for this position.
Councillor Mulyk, do you accept that move?
I do.
Seconded by Councillor Mulyk. Discussion. All in favor? It's carried. Thank you, Councillor. And then one more appointment with some background under 6.2 to the Northern Medical Programs Trust. They're requesting council appointment. My 4 years are up. There is a cap on that. They are looking to review some of those bylaws at the AGM, which will run concurrently with NCLGA in Dawson Creek. So a little bit of background, the Northern Medical Programs Trust was established to connect students and communities, growing the success of the Northern Medical Program and other healthcare education programs in building stronger healthcare in northern communities. As a result, in 2004, there are up to 128 medical students in Northern BC. Northern Medical Program Trust, which was joined forces with the development of the Northern Medical Program and communities. It was also established with donations from individuals, corporations, municipalities, service organizations, and about 24 of us in regional districts have joined the NMPT and have made financial commitments. All donations back in 2004 were in support of community pledges, and it was based on population, and our membership cost us then $52 times each household. So not cheap, but not overtaxing. To date, they've raised almost $9.5 million, and they do annual disbursements of approximately $250,000. So for example, a third-year students will start doing their practicums. They are required to travel to Valemount, Vanderhoof, Dawson Creek, Terrace, areas like that. And this fund helps them alleviate some of those costs. So they are, a trip of that nature would cost $7,500. Well, it's reimbursed to the student through this program or copped by the program prior to expenses. So really helping those students get a feel for northern communities. And the board of directors sets strategic direction along with 4 officers from University of Northern British Columbia. Again, my 4 years are coming to an end. I am a director at large until May, that would be NCLGA. But with the turnover in local governments in the last election, there was a lot of vacancies left on that board. And while a municipality can have 2 representatives, they can only have 1 vote. So I'll leave it to council there. Should you wish to have me continue to the NCLGA date, or because of our turnover in government, is there another representative that would like to sit on that board? They meet quarterly, and it's an outstanding board to be a part of. So leave it to council. Councillor Blanchette?
Yeah, I would like to move that you continue sitting there until NCLGA, and then if you so wish, if you would continue your service on that program
Thank you.
committee.
Seconder? Councillor MacLean, that Mayor Torgerson continue as the appointed representative to the Northern Medical Programs Trust. Discussion? All in favor? It's carried. Anything in the reading file folks would like to surface? You've all seen the Columbia Basin Trust orientation offer. Please take advantage of that as your schedules allow. And of course, a nice congratulatory letter from our partners at BC Hydro. Is there anything else? Board highlights, of course, RDFFG. Hearing none, moving on to administrative reports. 8.1, local government requirements under the Accessible British Columbia Act. Recommendation that the report be received. Moved by Councillor Pearson, seconded by Councillor Blanchette. Discussion. For my information purposes, Councillor Blanchette.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't the tourism board pay for a survey that came in last year? And they went around and they went into all of the village-owned properties and did an assessment? And did we not get a report on that? I know they came to the library and I think we were waiting for a report. If not, we have it.
I'll let Councillor Pearson speak to it first, and then we'll throw it over to administration.
Yeah, actually, I believe that was easily 2 years ago, I believe, where they came through and did the accessibility survey for the entire community. And so, yeah, to my knowledge, I'm not sure where any report back came out of that information.
It'd be on our website.
Okay. Yeah, because the report will help staff in making decisions.
Mr. Debenham?
Thank you, Your Worship. To the councillor's question, I understand that the assessment we might be referring to was completed by the Rick Hansen Foundation, a screening of all of our buildings there and some suggestions on how we might improve accessibility. Certainly a helpful tool. I understand we do have final reporting on that, and I'll look to circulate to council for awareness. This report here in front of you is a bit of an evolution to that. So the province passed the Accessible British Columbia Act in September of last year, 2021, pardon, and in 2022 passed additional regulations. And so yet to be defined some of the additional roles that municipalities will be picking up, but we understand that municipalities are responsive to the new legislation. So between ourselves and member municipalities of the Regional District Fraser Fort George, we're looking to see how we might collectively help address each community's new reporting requirement and make those much needed enhancements. So a progression from that previous report.
Okay, thank you.
Further discussion? All in favor? It's been received. 8.2, Pacific Institute for Climate Solutions, the PICS internship with UNBC. There's a couple of resolutions for council to consider this evening. First one, that council approve staff to submit an application to the Pacific Institute for Climate Solutions internship, January 2023 intake. Moved by Councillor Blanchette, seconded by Councillor MacLean. Discussion on the internship from the PICS.
It's a great program.
Certainly is, Councillor.
Yeah.
All in favor? It's carried. And 2, that staff work with the principal investigator to craft contract language for an intern should the application be successful that satisfies both parties. Moved by Councillor Pearson, seconded by Councillor Mulyk. Discussion. All in favor? It's carried. Have fun with the good doctor.
I confirm the application will go in tomorrow as it is due on Thursday.
8.3, amendment to the 2023 council meeting schedule. There's a couple here. First one, regular council meeting scheduled for, a regular council meeting be scheduled for September the 12th, 2023. Moved by Councillor Pearson, seconded by Councillor Blanchette. Discussion. Kind of a rescheduling of UMBC, so. All in favor? It's carried. And that the regular council meeting of September 26th, 2023 be canceled to better accommodate the attendance to the UBCM. Moved by Councillor Pearson, second by Councillor MacLean. Is there any discussion? Getting back on a Friday to get set up for a meeting on Tuesday. I think that's fair.
A little much.
All in favor? It's carried. 8.4, Valemount District Fire Hall Property Use Agreement. We're looking to that the Village of Valemount enter into an agreement with the Regional District Phase of Fort George regarding the use of the Valemount District Volunteer Fire Hall property located at 1380 Fifth Avenue in Valemount, legally described as Lot 1, Block 6, District Lot 7356, District Lot Plan 10449, PID 012694151 for a term of 5 years. Moved by Councillor Blanchette, thank you. Seconded by Councillor Pearson. And is there any discussion on that? Should I reread the resolution? All in favor? It's carried. 8.5 is looking to appoint a few adjudication committee members for a 2-year term under the Columbia Basin Trust Ready Grants Adjudication Committee. And with a recommendation that Sherry G. and Eugene Jamin be appointed for a 2-year term. Moved by Councillor MacLean, seconded by Councillor Blanchette. Discussion. Councillor Pearson?
Yeah, there'd be a couple valuable faces on that committee, so that would be great.
Awesome, yeah, indeed. Is there additional from administration?
Council, just for your awareness, another call for applications for this committee will close on the 16th. At this time, there are still 2 vacant positions. So for those at home listening, or for those in the audience who might have someone in mind who would like to consider being part of this body to help adjudicate those grants, there are still a few days left to get a nomination in.
Thank you very much. No further discussion, all in favor? It's carried. 8.6, bylaw enforcement summary report, December 22, and the year-end report to be received. Moved by Councillor Blanchette, seconded by Councillor Pearson. Is there any discussion on the last month or the year-end? All in favor? It's carried. 8.7, building inspection report for November and December 2022 building permit values, that the report be received. Moved by Councillor Pearson, second by Councillor Mulyk. Is there any discussion? All in favor? It's carried. Section 9, bylaws and policies. 9.1, amendments to staff training policy number 25. We're looking at the Village of Valemount staff training policy 25 as amended be approved. Moved by Councillor MacLean, seconded by Councillor Mulyk. Discussion. All in favor? It's carried. 9.2, amendments to animal control policy bylaw, policy, not bylaw, policy, number 80, looking to be amended and approved by council. Moved by Councillor Blanchette, seconded by Councillor Mulyk. Discussion on the amendments, now that we do have a bylaw enforcement officer?
Good clarification now.
Put those titles into the mix. All in favor? It's carried. 9.3, Village of Valemount Freedom of Information Bylaw, number 868, 2023, be given first, second, third reading. Moved by Councillor Blanchette, second by Councillor Pearson. Discussion. Nothing exciting like FOIPA.
There you go.
All in favor? It's carried. And 9.4, Village of Valemount Fees and Charges Bylaw, number 869, 2023. It be given first, second, third reading. Moved by Councillor Mulyk, second by Councillor Pearson. Discussion. Councillor Pearson.
Just a comment, and I'm not going to throw it out there as last-minute request, but just in reading through the charges bylaws, just curious if some information could come back to us on how those rates are determined. It's quite a list of things, and when you look through trying to compare how one business compares to another business for water usage and so on, so hadn't really looked at that list before, but it's pretty extensive and how it breaks them down, so.
Is it more or less looking for clarity around the utility fee structure, or how?
Just how basically the rate structure,
Okay.
if it's based on estimated usage or
And it just around water?
water and sewer, they're
Water and
both,
sewer?
they're tied together,
Okay.
so.
I don't think that's a stretch, Mr. Depuno.
We'll be happy to provide that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? All in favor? It's carried. Not seeing any new business this evening. Is there anybody wish to have, to forward a notice of motion? Councillor Blanchette?
I would, Your Worship, I'd like us to consider reviewing our in-camera Zoom bylaw, to look it over.
Section 10 of the procedural bylaw, be 10F, I believe.
Section 10, certainly, subsection to be determined, Your Worship, but familiar with the area Councillor is speaking to.
Right. Moved by Councillor Blanchette, seconded by Councillor MacLean. Discussion. I don't have any issues, Councillor, having did you want to speak to this first, Councillor Blanchette? I don't have any issues bringing this notice of motion forward. I think it has value. I think there's a lot of checks and balances that keep that section of the procedural bylaw in check. Mainly our oath of office and the code of conduct that we all signed. So just something for council to consider in 2 weeks or 4 weeks' time, whenever staff work with Councillor Blanchette to bring that motion forward. All in favor? It's carried. And just an FYI, back to you, Councillor Blanchette, on the communication between our emergency services department and the District of Logan Lake. That is initiated and ongoing.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Council reports, 12.1. Any volunteers to have the first one read of 2023? Councillor Blanchette.
I'll go first. My list is really, really long here. So December 19th, we met with the ambulance staff, which was fabulous. We had a really good conversation about how things work and why. And on January 5th, we had a PHR meeting, Councillor Pearson and I. Next steps, basically, we're just going to smother everybody with the knowledge of how valuable it is to have a personal health record and to be signed up online for it. And that's everything. And congratulations to Suzanne and Silvio, 20 years of service to the village and to the citizens. Thank you very, very much. It is greatly appreciated. And there's a lot of knowledge in those 40 years combined.
And you'll also be pleased to hear that the BC Ambulance Service and the province of British Columbia have have reached a tentative agreement moving forward for a collective bargaining.
Yes.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Mulyk. We'll take the Brady Bunch off the.
On December 14th, I was at a entertainment society meeting, and one of the items of discussion was the addition of another channel. So pretty happy to hear that. Very, very happy with the quality of community TV and the selection. So that was very nice. Also on December 14th, I attended a meeting with our CAO and a developer, Darren Weber, and Realtor Sherry Battensby, and it was basically discussing interest in Valemount housing and development needs and opportunities. A very, very interesting meeting.
Excellent. Thank you, Councillor Mulyk. Councillor MacLean.
I only had one event, and that was yesterday morning. For 2 hours, I attended a webinar on the Columbia River Treaty Local Governments Committee's socioeconomic performance measures, and it was an introduction for the newly elected officials. So it was really interesting and a good refresher for those of us who have been there before.
How many new faces around the table?
You know, I don't know. There was 52 of us there, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I don't really know who was new. There was a lot.
Small gathering.
Yeah, Frank Marino was there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, that was it. Thank you.
Well, you know, a 2-hour meeting with 52 people.
I know. Yeah.
Thank you. Councillor Pearson.
All right, also on December 19th, joined Mayor, Council, CAO, and had a nice lunch discussion with local paramedics, Derek McClure and Chris. I apologize for not knowing Chris's last name. It was a really good discussion on getting to understand how things are shaping up for the new Alpha designation for our station. January 5th, also the PHR Personal Health Records meeting, and as Councillor Blanchette indicated, we will be bombarding the community with information, and I meant to wear my Ask Me About My Health Key pin, so if anybody has any questions, you can track us down and we'll tell you what it's all about. It's a very easy process to get registered, to have access to your personal health records, and also do online booking of appointments, which is so nice and easy to do. And yesterday afternoon, had a community forest meeting, and that was my week.
Thank you. That was your month. December 14th, I took part in a Regional District Fraser Fort George orientation session, followed by on the 15th, open board meeting of the board, of their board. On the 16th, on my way back from Prince George, I was able to stop into McBride and join Mayor Runts in on an introductory call with the new Municipal Affairs Minister, Ann Kang. So thanks to our partners in McBride for allowing the technological accommodation. The 19th, BC Ambulance Service meet and greet. Really good to hear dedicated paramedics coming in very, very shortly, along with a new unit chief. On the 21st, I was able to give well wishes to office staff before their departure for the holidays. On the 22nd, I had a conversation with Canada Post Government Engagement Team regarding the recent break-in and some potential security upgrades. Later that day, I was able to stop over at the Public Works Yard to give well wishes to Mr. Pelchet's staff before their departure for the holidays. On January the 2nd, I was able to meet with University of Northern BC professor Dr. Joseph Shea regarding PICS grant funding, not what we were discussing tonight, but a grander natural disaster snowpack analysis, climate change, with more details coming. On December the 6th, met with January the 6th, met with BC Hydro regarding a breakwater project, 2 breakwater projects that are being planned at the Valemount Marina. Village was there in a capacity of debris management to ensure that none of those projects interject with the overall management of debris on that reservoir. January 9th, Board of Directors meeting with the Northern Medical Programs Trust. Later that day, had a funding discussion with our CBT liaison, Angie Elsmore, Mr. Defino. Today, I had a really good discussion with Sona Mann, who is the owner of the IGA, regarding, and he's not alone, ongoing supply chain issues, whether it's highway conditions, whether it's warehousing, whether it's fuel prices. Really good to hear his perspective on some of those challenges. Earlier this afternoon, was able to present our geothermal project to the Simp First Nation Natural Resources Department Advisory Committee with some really cool recommendations going back to their chief and council on Monday. So I wasn't expecting that quick of a turnaround. And and then later this afternoon had a discussion with Amy Ambrosoni with the Columbia Basin Trust Delivery of Benefits regarding some more due diligence around the geothermal project. Motion to receive. Moved by Councillor Pearson, seconded by Councillor Mulyk. Any questions on the reports to Councillor Pearson?
Just follow up on your discussion with Canada Post, if they gave any indication on what their short-term and or long-term solutions. I mean, at this point, locking the doors at 5:15 negates the possibility anybody working for a large industrial project in the area of getting their mail at all.
That was part of the discussion. Longer term is a site analysis, also working with the building owner to see what upgrades can be had there as well. But in the short term, that's the cards we have.
Yeah.
If folks are gonna wreck things, then perhaps we can't check our mail without having staff on site. And it's not a great scenario, but it keeps post boxes and other things intact at that organization for the short term, and hopefully they move on some of those security measure upgrades. Any further questions? All in favor? It's carried. We do have time for public comment this morning, or this evening under section 14. Are there any public comments on items considered by council as part of the approved agenda? Second call? Third call, come on. Thank you. I'll now give notice to proceed in camera for consideration of 3 items per section 91A and K of the Community Charter to discuss matters related to A, personal information about a identifiable individual who holds or is being considered for a position as an officer, employee, or agent of the municipality or another position appointed by the municipality, and K, negotiations and related discussions respecting the proposed provision of a municipal service that are at their preliminary stages and that in the view of the council could reasonably be expected to harm the interests of the municipality if they are held in public, and that's for the 2 other items. Moved by Councillor Mulyk, seconded by Councillor Blanchette. Just should be no discussion, we're going in camera. All in favor? It's carried. Thank you very much all. Mr. Mulyk, we shall